Hello everyone, Courtney here from How to Loom Your Dragon. Welcome to my bunny tutorial. This is a tutorial I decided to do for Easter this year. So I'm going to be doing a really cute little bunny rabbit. Okay, a 3D, hopefully realistic looking. So check out the end of this video if you want to see what he looks like. Very cute. This is a good project to use up those extra colors that you probably will never use, or you can always use the neutral colors as well. I'm going to be making a white bunny with brown ears, brown paws, and brown spots as well. So I'm going to be using white as well as caramel and cocoa brown. Okay, you can also make a lop bunny. Lop rabbits are the ones with the ears that, fall downward. But if you want to do a lop rabbit, you're going to need some wire in order to keep his ears down. Okay, so for this tutorial you need about close to 600 bands. That's about a pack of bands. Okay, for my rabbit I'm going to be using about 430 white. That is for the main body as well as the stomach. Okay, if you are going to do a main body, a different color from your stomach, so if you're going to do like a white stomach and a brown body or whatever, for the stomach you need 95 of that color. Okay, but since I'm doing the same color stomach as the body, in total I'm going to be using 430 of the white. I'm also using 100 of the cocoa brown, which is a dark brown. That's for the ears and the paws. I'm going to be using about 45 of the caramel bands. That is a lighter brown, and that is going to be for the spots. You need 2 black bands for the pupils and the eyes, 4 pink bands for the tongue and the nose, and 4 of your eye color. Okay, so for my eyes I'm also going to be doing brown eyes, so I'm going to be using the cocoa and caramel brown in the eyes as well. Okay, there are going to be portions in this tutorial where I go back and tell you to repeat things the exact same way. For example, I will be only doing one arm and one leg with you, and you have to go back and repeat. You do not have to mirror it, so you do not have to make it symmetrical, so that's easy for you. Okay, the head is made up of mostly double looped bands, so I'm just warning you now, okay? Double looped bands are more difficult. Alright, so hopefully you're not a beginner. Hopefully you've done some of my projects before or have been rainbow looming for a while, okay, to make this. Alright, so we are going to begin with, we're going to do the head first to get that done with. So first we're going to be doing the ears. Now I am doing a bunny with upright ears, so if you want to do a lot bunny, I recommend that you make the ears slightly longer than what I'm making them, okay? So I am using the dark brown for my ears, so I'm going to wrap it, creating 5 loops around my hook. Then I'm taking 3 bands at a time. Oh, by the way, you only need 1 loom for this project. It says in the description. So I pulled that onto the 3 bands, and now I'm reclaiming the loop onto my hook like that. I'm going to take 3 more bands, pull those onto those, okay, and 3 more, and 3 more, and 3 more, okay. So if you're going to be doing a lop rabbit, I recommend that you make the ears maybe about 2 lengths longer, okay? So add another 3 bands and another 3 bands, okay? So this is going to be 1 ear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it off. You can also store it on a holding hook. I'm just going to put a slip knot at the end of it so it stays together. It doesn't matter what color you use for the slip knot because we'll be taking it off. Okay, so make 2 ears, okay, exactly the same. And now we're going to be working on the top of the head. Okay, so I am putting spots on mine, so I'm going to be using a caramel brown here. So I am double looping caramel brown. Okay, then I'm using white, so I'm going to double loop white here and here, and 1 here, and then a caramel brown double looped here. A white double looped, and again, and 1 more time. Okay, so these are all double looped bands so far. Another white here. Obviously you can make the spots wherever you want to, but based on the band count I gave you is, you know, the right amount. Okay, we're gonna make the eyes on our hook now. So you want to take, let's see, I'm taking a caramel brown. I'm doing a multicolored eye here. So I am doing a light brown and dark brown in the eye. So take an eye color and you're going to wrap it, creating 4 loops on your hook. Okay, then you're going to take another eye color. Like I said, I'm doing multicolored. Wrap that 4 times around. And then take a black, wrap that 4 times around. Okay, so the black is the pupil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the color next to the pupil and I'm going to bring 2 loops onto the other side of the black. Okay, and then I'm going to take this color and bring 2 loops onto all the way onto the other side of the brown. Okay, so it looks like that. Then I'm going to take 2 white bands. This is whatever your body color is. 2 white bands, and you're going to pull the eye color onto the white. In order. Okay, don't mess it all up. Pull it over in the order that it is on your hook. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to wrap the ends of the white bands around this peg and around this peg. And you want the good part of the eye to face outward. Okay, let's make another eye. Same way we did the first. Okay, bringing 2 loops over onto the other side. 2 loops over onto the other side. Most of the eye is going to be hidden in the head, just so you know. But he's going to look really cute. Okay, 2 white bands. Pull the eye onto dark brown first, then light brown. Okay, again, let's put that on the other side. We want the good part of the eye to face outward, so you can always just twist it around if you want to, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to double loop there and 1 more here. Okay, I'm going to cap this off with a white. So whatever your body color is, you are capping it off. This is not the nose, so don't use pink there. Okay, I'm going to double loop whatever your body color is, white for me, across like this. Okay, get your ears ready because we will be attaching them to here when we get to that point. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to go under the cap band. So into this peg, you want to grab the top diagonal bands, which is these guys here. It's actually only 1 band, but it's 2 loops. So grab them, loop them over. Grab the next 2, loop them over. Grab these, loop them up. I'm going to loop all the way up the center column. Loop up these 2 up to here. Same thing on this side. Okay, so now I'm going to take one of my ears. You're going to go through the 6 loops that your tying band is around. Make sure you go through them and not between them. Like if you take off your tying band and they stay on the hook, you did it right. Okay, you're going to wrap those 6 loops around the peg here. You don't have to take the tying band off. If you don't want to, you can always do that after. Okay, so make sure you go through the loops, not between them, all 6 of them. Wrap around this peg, turn outward, and then we're going to dig down and loop up the final 2 on each side. You do not want the double looped bands to break. If they break, we have to fix them, and if mine break, you're going to have to watch me fix it because I don't have video editing software or anything. Okay, so now we're going to take any color. It doesn't matter what color. I'm just going to use pink. We're going to tie slip knots on the 3 ends here. Okay, and then I'm going to start from the bottom and carefully just, since these are double looped bands, we want to be careful. We're just going to lift up from the bottom. Okay, it's going to look a little strange, okay, because this is only the top. This is only the forehead, okay, so it's going to look weird, so don't be shocked. Okay. Okie doke. Great. Take off the tying bands around the ears only. Don't take off these yet. Okay, now we're going to work on the other part of the head. So the other part of the top of the head we're going to do now. So, this is the middle of the head. I am taking 2 white bands here. Okay, so 2 there, 2 there, and 2 here. And I'm going to double loop my white bands 5 times down the center. So double looped 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we're going to make his cheeks kind of like puffing out a little bit. So I'm going to take 3 bands. Let's see, what did I do with this guy? Check it out. I'm going to take 3 bands and I'm going to wrap them around my hook twice or 3 times. You can do 2 or 3 times. If you want puffier cheeks, you're going to wrap them around twice. If you want less puffy cheeks, you're going to wrap them around 3 times. Okay? Then I'm going to take a double looped band and pull those bands onto that and place double looped band here and there. Okay, let's do that again on the other side. 3 bands wrapped around twice. Double loop, pull on, wrap around there. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to take 2 bands and wrap them around 3 times. And double loop, pull on, at the ends here and here. Okay, again, 2 bands wrapped around 3 times, double loop, pull on, place here and here. Okay, now we are just taking white, double looping here and here and here and here. Now I'm gonna give mine dark brown cheeks. Okay, if you want, you can do white cheeks as well. Doesn't matter what color. I'm taking 2 bands of my cheek color and I'm wrapping them around my hook 3 times. Take a white band onto your hook and pull the cheek color onto the white. Okay, placing the ends there. Okay, I'm doing that again, so 2 bands wrapped around 3 times. Taking a double looped white, pulling it on, placing the ends here and here. Okay, so he's going to have little brown cheeks. Okay, double loop your whites across. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to take a pink for the nose, wrap it around. I'm going to wrap mine around creating 5 loops. It might cause the white bands to snap when I loop them, so if that happens, we'll have to just loosen the tension on this band by taking a loop off and having it wrapped around 4 times, but we'll see how it goes first. Alright, so that's going to be the nose. Okay, so now you're going to take the top of your head, you're going to turn it upside down so the ears are facing down. You're going to go through the cap band, so all 4 loops of the cap band here. You're going to wrap it right around the same peg as the nose. Then we're going to dig down and we're going to find these white bands. So we gotta go past the pink nose, grabbing those double looped white bands, looping them, going back down, grabbing these, looping them, and finally grabbing the bottom 2. Oops, that one broke, so I'm going to have to fix that. So if a band breaks, what I have to do is lift this, pull off the broken band, double loop a new band. Okay, I have to go in here with my hook, put the double looped band around the peg, grab it with my hook from under here. It's a little tricky. Pull it through the loop. Okay, just like that. Put the horizontal band back around and just loop it up. Okay, now I'm going to lift up the head like that. Okay, and now we're going to focus on, so here's your cap band right here if you pull it up. This set of loops right here, the first set of loops on the side, I'm going to go through those loops. I'm not going to go through the horizontal band that's in them. I'm just going to grab the 4 loops at the edge of that set. Okay, open it up. Actually, yeah, okay. Just kidding. First we want to loop up this. Just kidding. Haha. I like to play jokes on people. Sorry, loop up the middle to here. Now we're going to do that because we don't want to forget the middle. Okay, so now go through those loops. Do I have them all? I'm missing one. I'm missing a loop. Should be going through 4 loops. 1 band, 4 loops. Okay, alright. I'm going to open up that hole, wrap it around this peg, and then we want to loop up this next set. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So go through the 4 loops, wrap around, and loop that band. Okay, now I'm going to lift up the nose very, very carefully. Okay. And now I'm going to loop up the next set on each side as well. Okay, so I'm not wrapping anything around that peg, I'm just lifting. Now I'm going to lift up this and this. This will help release tension, okay, and even the middle one as well. Okay. Now I'm going to go through the set of bands behind the eye. So you have the 2 bands, not the double loop, the double bands here. We're going to skip that set and go to the next one. So it's the 3rd set from the end. Okay, the 3rd set from the end. We're going to open up those loops and wrap. Hold on. Go through the loops, open them up and wrap them around this peg. Okay. Same thing on the other side. So the set behind the eye, the 3rd set from the end. Go through all 4 of the loops on the side and wrap them around this peg. Once I've done that, I'm going to very carefully lift up this set here and this set here, very carefully. Then I'm going to loop up twice. Once, twice. Same thing over here. Once, twice. Okay, then we can lift this, and this, and this, and the middle here. Okay, the eyes might be stuck underneath. Don't worry, we will fix that when we pull it off, okay? Trust me, it'll look fine, as long as you're wrapping the right loops around. Okay, I'm going to go through the end set here that's being tied off, go through the loops, wrap around the peg there, and loop up the final 2 bands here. Now we're going to go through the middle set at the end here, wrap those around this peg and loop up these two bands. And then we're going to find that final set on the other side. Go through the loops, wrap them around this peg, and loop up. Okay, I'm going to tie off these ends with a different color than this. So I used pink here to tie these ends. I'm going to tie this end with, I'm going to just use black. Have a lot of black. And then I'm going to carefully lift up the rest of it, of this head. Now, if the eyes are underneath the head, we're going to pop them back up through where they're supposed to go. So the eyes are going to be popped up into here. Okay, so there's one eye. It might be a little twisted. We'll have to like twist it around and fix it. Okay. Okay, so I popped it up and then I'm going to pop it in. It takes some maneuvering, so just, you know, be patient with it. Pop it up and pop it in. Same thing with this guy. Take a couple minutes to adjust the eyes. And we may have to adjust them again once we do the bottom of the mouth. So you want the eyes to pop up between the two layers that we made. Okay, but don't make them pop out like this because that looks creepy. So once you get them through, kind of just pop them back in a little bit so that they're not popping out like bug eyes, like so they're more like that. Okay, same thing with this side. This eye looks funny, so I'm going to fix it. Looks like he's looking upward. I don't like that, so I'm going to pop it out, twist it, so the good eye is facing straight out, or the good part of the eye is facing straight out, and then just carefully just kind of push it back in partially. Okay, sometimes you're not gonna like the way it looks, like I'm not liking it as much, but I can adjust it more later if I want to. Okay, so the eyes. Okay, so after you've played with them and you like the way they look, you can always play with them more later if you want to. I'm obviously going to have to play with mine, but you don't want them popping out too much or it'll look weird. Dumb caramel band. Okay. Alright, so anyway, that's going to take some adjusting, so we can do that later. So let's do the bottom of the head now. Okay, so look at his little face. Okay, now we're going to do his jaw. So I'm going to double loop white bands down the middle. Five times. Okay. Double loop here and here. And now we are going to take 3 bands wrapped around twice on a double looped band. We're going to put that here. Okay, we're going to do that again. 3 bands wrapped around twice on a double looped band. Wrap that here. Now we're going to take 2 bands wrapped around 3 times onto a double looped band. Same thing on the other side. Double loop here and here and here and here. Now I'm going to take the burgundy, not the burgundy, the cocoa, the dark brown, double loop that, put that there, and then I'm going to wrap another one around, creating either 4 or 5 loops around that peg. Now take your white, double loop for your horizontal bands. Like that. Okay, those were all double looped bands. Okay. Now I'm going to dig down here. I'm going to loop up this brown, and then I'm going to loop up first these guys, oops, diagonally, and then these, and then the bottom. And I'm going to go up to here, and now I'm going to make my tongue. So I'm going to take a pink, wrapping it 4 times around my hook, so creating 4 loops with it, double looping a pink onto my hook, pulling it on, reclaiming the end, double looping another, pulling it on, reclaiming the end, and wrapping the tongue right around that peg. Okay, so wrap the loops around that peg, and then we're going to loop the rest of the way up. Okay, now we're going to take our bunny head and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just check this. Oh, well, first we want to take off the pink tying bands on the head. If you haven't done that already, we want to take those off. We want to leave the black ones on and take the pink ones off. Okay, so we don't get confused. All right, now you're going to count 5 sets from the end. Okay, so here's 1, 2 where the big puff is wrapped around, 3 where the little puff is wrapped around, 4 and 5. So the set on the side here, that's right after the cheeks. Okay, so the cheeks are attached to this set. The set right after that, we're going to go through the 2 bands on the side like that. We're going to loop them around this peg here. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to go from this direction and grab them. Okay, or put your hook through them. Then we're going to dig down, grabbing these 2, okay, and pulling them through those bands and looping. Okay, that'll help it from breaking. Okay, let's go through the other side. So from this direction, the set after the cheeks, okay, go through those 4 loops, okay, right here. Hopefully that makes sense. Stick your hook through, grab. The head is the most difficult part. After this it gets easier, so don't worry, guys. Loop those bands through, wrap around. I'm going to lift up a little from the bottom. Okay, just slightly. Ooh, looks like I broke the band here. One moment while I fix it. My apologies, guys. I'm just fixing this, so one moment while I fix. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab the horizontal band. Okay, so I fixed that broken band. Okay. Sorry, so we wrapped the two sets around those two pegs, okay? Lift up this from the bottom. Okay. So now I can loop up this next set. Okay. Alright, and now I'm going to go to the set here where the smaller loops are wrapped around. So it's the third set from the end. So here's 1, 2, 3. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the bottom half of that set. So push that poofy part forward and grab the 2 loops at the bottom of the set instead of all 4, and wrap around, loop up. Let's do the other side. So the same set where those little loops are wrapped around, grab the 2 bottom loops, wrap around that peg, and loop up. Okay. And now I'm going to go into the set where the big loops are wrapped around, so it's the second set from the end. Go through the 2 bottom loops, wrap around, and loop up. Okay, same thing on the other side, so the set with the 2 loops, wrap around, and loop up. Okay, we are not connecting these ends to here. Okay, so I'm going to just use a different color than this. So I'm just going to use pink. Going to tie slip knots at the ends here. And then carefully lift up him. The tongue is sticking out the bottom of the head. If that's happening, don't worry, we can always fix that. Open up the mouth, dig in, or from the back actually, we can push the tongue up. And push it forward. Okay, just so it's not popping through the bottom. Okay, so there's your bunny's head. Very cute. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too completely confusing. Hee hee, so cute. Alright, well we've made the head. I'm just going to pull out the poofs a little bit, just to make him look poofier on the head. Whoops. Okay. Hee hee. There's his little head with his eyes. Alright, so now, it's so cute. We're going to work on his front legs. Okay, so, hold on. Let's do the front legs. So, I'm going to use, again, white with spots. So, 2 white here, and 2 here, and 2 here. The head was the hardest part, don't worry, the rest is a lot easier. I'm going to put some spots on the arm. Okay. Up to you if you want to do that as well. And I'm taking 3 white bands here and 3 white bands here. Okay, now for the foot, I'm going to be using the cocoa brown. So let's make his little paw. I'm going to grab one and wrap it around, creating 5 loops. And another wrapped around, creating 5 loops. Double loop one and pull those other 2 onto it. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it down on my hook, and I'm going to put my other finger through these loops to hold them. You can put a pencil or something through as well. Take a single brown and wrap it around, creating 4 loops. Reclaim those 2 loops onto your hook, like that. Then we are going to double loop a band and pull them all in order onto that double looped band and reclaim the loop. Okay, so his little paw looks like that. And now I'm going to wrap that right around this peg here. And I'm going to double loop a band here and one here. Then I'm going to loop this. You need to make 2 of these, so if you want to make your second one like over here, instead of going back in the video and having to repeat, then do it. Okay, you can put the spots in a different place on the legs if you want to. I did on my other one. I put them somewhere else, so that's up to you. Okay, the second leg can be exactly the same as this one. You don't have to mirror it. So once we looped up, we are tying our slip knots and pulling off. Okay, so there is one front leg. Make another one, so you have 2. Okay, they're exactly the same. And now we are going to make, he's so cute, his back legs. Okay, so I'm going to be taking white. Okay. And then the caramel brown, some spots here. White. And white. Maybe caramel brown here. Like that. Okay. Take white here. So 2 bands at a time, this is. White, caramel brown. I'm putting 4 little spots on his leg. You can put as many as you want or as few as you want. Like that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a white band and I'm going to wrap it 4 times around my hook. I'm going to take 2 whites on my hook and pull that band onto it, reclaim the loops. Then I'm going to take two more white, pull it on, reclaim the loop, and then 2 more. Reclaim the loop. Okay. I'm going to wrap these loops around this peg. And then I'm going to go through the cap band, so all 4 loops of the cap band, and you're going to pull all the way down and wrap that around this peg. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to put on my horizontals. So here, and here, and here, and here. I'm going to cap off the end with a white, wrapping it around, creating 4 loops right on that peg. Now we're going to make the bottom of the leg, so again I'm using the cocoa brown for the foot, wrapping it around, creating 5 loops, wrapping another around, creating 5 loops, double looping one, pulling the bands onto that double looped band, put my finger through the loop to hold it, take another brown, wrap it around 4 loops, wrap the loops around, and now what I'm going to do is I'm taking 3 burgundy, and I'm going to pull them all onto those 3 burgundy bands in order. Reclaim the loops. Okay. Let me just check my guy. Reclaim the loops. Okay, I'm going to do that 3 more times. So grab 3 more. Burgundy, pull through and reclaim. 3 more. Pull through and reclaim, and 3 more. Pull through and reclaim. Okay, now I'm going to take 3 white, pull through and reclaim, and 3 more white. Pull through and reclaim. And these I'm going to wrap around this peg. Okay, that is going to be my back leg. Now let's loop it. So I'm going to start under the cap band, grabbing the top 2, looping them over, loop all the way up this column, okay, now I'm going to loop all the way up the middle, and then up this way. Dig down here, grab the 2 bands, loop up. Loop as if that extra section isn't even there. Okay, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take 2 bands of any color. I'm just going to use black, tie a slip knot here around all these guys. Hello. What are you doing? Slip knot. Okay. Tie a slip knot around there and tie a slip knot around here. Then lift this off. If you want to make 2 of these as well, you can make them the same. Exactly the same, that's fine. Okay, so this is going to be our other back leg. Okay. If we want this part to face forward, we can go through this set of loops here and tug like that, so the leg will be facing forward, okay? Yeah, okay, cool. So make 2 of those, so you have your 2 back legs, okay? Again, the spots can be in different places. Now we are going to do the body, woo! So I'm taking 3 white. Okay, so 3 white are gonna go 3 here. Now we're gonna take 2 white at a time, and we're gonna go down 5 times here. So 1. Actually, just kidding. We're gonna go this way first. So bring those over like that, and like this, like this. Maybe I want to put some spots here and here. Maybe white. Some spots. And then white all the way to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to go down the center here. 2 there, 2 there, grab the caramel, then the white, then the caramel, then white the rest of the way. Actually, no, I'm going to put caramel here too. Okay. And white here as well. Okay. So I'm going to double loop a white here, and I'm going to take 2 at a time for my horizontals. 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Okay, so there we go. Now, I'm going to take my head. Okay, we are worrying about the top set of loose bands here, not the bottom, okay? The top set. We're going to go through the middle set in the top, so the middle set of loops. Make sure you go through all 4 loops. Wrap them around this peg at the side here. Okay? We're not going to worry about the set on this side, okay? We wrapped the middle, and now we're going to go through the end set. And that goes around this peg. Okay, lift up that. Get out of the way, black band. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to take one of my front legs, and I'm going to go through this end here. Okay, so the front leg, you can always change the direction it's facing, so it doesn't really matter, but you want, if possible, for the leg to be, or the foot to be facing the head. Okay, not bending that way, but bending this way. Okay, go through the loops here on this set and wrap them right around this peg here. Then you want to go through the second set of loops and wrap them around the next one, like that. Okay. Now I am going to loop up, well, first we want to take some white bands. I'm going to take 2 at a time. I'm going to place these 2 right here on this peg. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop up these 2 bands. Okay, right over those 2 loose bands. Take 2 more loose bands, put them on the next set, loop up, take 2 more, put them on the next set, loop up, 2 more on the next set, loop up, 2 more on the next set, loop up, 2 more here, loop up, 2 here, loop up, 2 here, loop up. Oops. Make sure those 2 stay on. Haha. Okay, we're going to stop there. Okay, so now I'm going to loop up these 2 up to here over the leg bands there. Okay. And now the next set down are these 2. So I'm going to dig down to grab these 2, the 2 horizontal ones there. I grabbed the wrong bands. Make sure you grab the right ones. Okay. Loop them over. Then loop up these 2. Dig down. Loop up these. and we're going to go up. To here, okay? I'm going to stop there. Okay, and now I'm going to loop up these. You can kind of lift that paw up so it doesn't get in the way. So just loop up. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake, but it's easy fix. Okay, up to here. Actually, no, we're going to go again. Up to here. But first, actually, we want to put 2 bands down. So let's lift that and put the 2 white bands down and then put that back over. Okay. Like that. Now, I'm actually going to undo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Undo up to here because we're actually going to wrap part of the leg around that. Sorry, guys. Ha ha. Just kidding. So just undo. You can tell why I didn't want to do the big rabbit, right? Okay, so undo up to here, okay? So this middle column, just loom up to here because we're going to take our back leg, okay, either one. So hold it like this, then we're going to flip it, go through the cap band, okay, and wrap the cap band right around that peg, okay? Then we want to loop that. And then we can lift the leg like that. Okay, this will keep the leg from popping outward when it's not supposed to. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start lifting him from the bottom, but I'm not going to lift him all the way up, so just watch. Just watch what I'm doing. I'm lifting him up part of the way. Maybe one more set. Okay, so I lifted him up part of the way. I'm going to take 2 bands and I'm going to put them right onto this peg. And let's see, I'm going to loop up these 2 and then these 2. Okay, now I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to go through this thick set of loose bands here. Okay, so there's 8 loops we want to go through, so you can just follow the tying band through those 8 loops and wrap them around this peg. It's a little tricky because it's a pretty thick set, but as long as you're through all the loops, you should be fine. Okay, then I want to dig down and I want to loop up those 2 horizontal bands. So these 2 loop over like that. And then we want to go through this bottom loose set here, those 4 loops, and wrap them around that peg, and then loop up these 3 bands at the bottom. Hee hee. Then I'm just going to take a random band and tie it off. Now this is only half the body, we have to do the other half on the other side. Heh. Wah ha ha ha. Evil laugh. Ha 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 ha. Aww. Look how cute. Okay, so once we've taken that off, we can take off the bands around the arm. Okay. I'm just going to take the ones off around the arm. What is that? I think that's one. Yeah. Okay, leave the neck bands attached, okay, because we still need most of those. And then you can take off the 2 bands around the leg. Don't take off the pink one, though. Okay. Then what we can do is we can just kind of pull outward these edge bands. So just pull them outward. Okay, just like that. Now we want to do the other side of his little body. So let's do that. It's pretty much exactly the same as we just did. So Taking 3 white bands here. Okay, and then we're taking 2 here. Maybe I want a spot here, so I'm going to take caramel here. Okay, maybe 2 white here. So we're going all the way down to the bottom. Two caramels, maybe. I want a spot there, maybe. 2 white. And maybe 2 white here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go down. Maybe 2 caramel here. Okay, maybe like that. Okay, you can put another spot on if you want. Okay, let's do our horizontals, so the whites, 2 at a time. Double loop, like that. Okay, so now we're going to take our bunny. We're going to go through, again, that same middle set. The 3 black bands at the top of the head, we're going to go through that middle set. Okay, the same one that we used to go through the other side, and we're going to open it up and wrap it around this peg. Okay, oops, that's the wrong set. Make sure it's this one. Okay, right behind the double looped bands. Okay, the black band is wrapped around it. Okay, so wrap that around there, and then we want to go through the loose set on this side that we didn't go through yet, and wrap that around that peg. Okay? Now we don't have to put the loose white bands on this side, luckily. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop up the majority of this column. Okay. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to take my other arm, and again we want to hold it so that the foot is facing toward the head. Go through this set of loops here, wrap them around this peg, and then go through the next set. They're so cute. Wrap them around this peg. Okay, now we're going to go up these 2. Okay, and then we have to do the 2 horizontals right here. Loop them over. Okay, let's go up this column, or the majority of this column. Up to here we can go, okay? Now we want to go back in here. Don't forget this set in here, okay? Otherwise you're going to be really sad. Alright, we're going to loop up the majority of this column. Actually, yes, all the way up to here. Then we're going to grab... Oh, wait. I did the same thing that I did on the other side. We want to unloop 4 of these. Whoops, because we have to attach the capping band of the back leg. Luckily it's not too challenging to unloop. Sorry guys. So grab the other back leg, hold it this way, flip it, go through the cap band, wrap around this peg here. Okay, so the leg is facing backwards and loop up. Then we can flip the leg upward so it's facing the right way and loop up. To here and then loop this guy diagonally. Now, like I did before, I'm going to lift up from the bottom carefully. Not all the way, obviously, just part of the way. Okay. Now, we're going to take the thick set of bands, stick your hook through. I missed a band, so make sure you go through all of them. Okay. Then wrap around this peg here. Okay, then we're going to loop this one over, so go dig down, grab those bottom two, loop over, go through the other loops here, loop up, dig all the way down to grab those 3 bands at the bottom, and loop up. Okay, again I'm going to take a random color band. I'm going to use pink here, different color than that's already there, and slip knot it. And then we can lift the rest of him off. Hee-hee, cute. So now we can take off the tying bands, all of them except for these 2 at the base of the bottom. Okay, except, oh, and also don't take off these at the bottom of the jaw either. So leave those 3 on and 2 at the base. Okay, so obviously he's in 2 halves. We're going to connect it. So I'm turning him upside down. Turning him upside down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread them apart. Now we have this band here where the 2 sets are coming out of. I'm going to go through the set on this side, so the 4 loops, and I'm going to pull the first 2 loops through, push it down on my hook. Go through the next 4 loops, pull the next 2 loops through and through the first 2 loops. Go through the caramel bands, the next set, pull the 2 bands through. We are essentially stitching the body. These 2, pull through. So we're just going to keep going along the edge till we do that final set of bands from the other side. So once I've pulled those final loops through, oh, he's so cute! Oh. I'm going to hold them with my finger take my hook, kind of just go through a bunch of these bands here, pull the two through, those random bands in the body, grab a C-clip, and C-clip it. Don't worry about it because this will be hidden underneath the stomach. So actually make sure the C-clip's not too close to the edge. If it is, I'm just going to bring it to the center. Okay, so have it so the C-clip isn't like right at the edge there, so it's kind of like in the middle. Okay, so now all we have left to do is his tail and his tummy. Hee. So let's do his tail. So I'm putting him aside. Now the tail is pretty easy, don't worry. I'm using burgundy for the tail, and I'm going to put a little white at the bottom. So I'm taking a white band, wrapping it around, creating 4 loops. Taking 3 burgundies. Actually, no, I'm going to do 4 burgundies. 4 burgundy bands. Pull the white onto the 4 burgundy bands. Wrap the bands around there. And now I'm going to double loop burgundy here and here. So those 2 are double looped. Take your bunny. We're going to go through this set of loops on the end here. There are, I think, 6 loops. You have to take off the tying band. Be very careful here. You don't want to mess this up. Take off the tying band. Okay, and you're going to very carefully, without messing up, wrap the 6 loops around that peg and push down as far as it goes. Okay, he's right side up, by the way. Now I'm going to go through very carefully. We don't want this to come off, so I'm just going to stick my hook through there just in case it lifts up. Okay, I'm going to go through. This is a little tricky. I want to go through the other bands now without ruining anything. Take your time doing this because obviously you want to do it right. Okay. And again, take off the tying band. And carefully wrap the 6 loops around this peg. Okay? Ooh, I missed a loop. Arg! Okay, there we go. Now push all the loops down. Now what we have to do is we have to lift up the top 3 bands here, or the top 3 loops, and the top 3 loops on this side, but keep them on your hook. Okay, 2. Looks like I wrapped an extra band around there, but oh well. Double loop, a tail color. Actually, I'm gonna use white for this instead of a tail color. White. Double loop it and put it across. Then replace these bands and these bands. If you don't put that double looped band there, there's going to be a hole in your tail. Okay. Then we want to loop up this double looped band and this double looped band. And finally, these 4 bands here. Then I'm just going to take another cocoa and slip knot the end. So now he has a little fluffy tail with white underneath. So cute. Now bunnies' tails actually aren't that big. so that's why I didn't make it like a huge tail. But you can actually make it bigger if you want to, that's up to you. What I'm going to do with this loose band is I'm going to zigzag it back through and hide it. So I'm zigzagging it through the tail. Okay, maybe I want to zigzag it this way. So just zigzag it like through the tail so it kind of disappears. Okay, that's all. Unless you want it to show at the end, that's like up to you. Okay. So there's his tail. It's actually not that fluffy. I don't know if I like it. If you like it, leave it, but I'm actually going to change it because I don't like it. I don't like it. That's all. I'm going to take off that white band because I feel like that's constricting it. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking off that tying band at the end. I'm going to pull off, very carefully pull off this white band because I don't like that. Okay. So cute. Yeah, okay, let's see how that looks now without the white underneath. So the tail's a little bit fluffier. I don't know, you can make it bigger by adding another layer to the side or something. I'm just going to keep it like this for now because I don't want this tutorial to end up being 10 hours long just because of the tail. Bunny, bunny, bunny. Go through. Okay, so now we just have to do his little tummy. Okay, so that's what we're going to do is his tummy. So I'm just going to use white for his stomach. Alright, you can use white too if you want. So, just taking 2 bands at a time. I'm going to go down 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's go down the next column. We're making it 3 wide. So again, 2 at a time. Okay, I'm going to double loop a white across these 3, and these 3, and these 3, and now I'm just going to do 2 white at a time for the rest. So white here, white here, white here, white here, white here, and white here. Okay, I'm going to take my bunny and the 3 loose bands at the bottom of the chin. Now we're going to be using those. So it doesn't matter how you attach them. You can attach it this way or this way. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go through the set at the end here. Whoops. Go through those 4 loops. Okay. Wrap them around this peg. Okay, so I wrapped those edge bands around that peg. I'm going to take, if you made your body a different color than your stomach, you're taking your body color here. I'm doing white because my body is white. Okay, but if you made a brown bunny, you're going to use brown for these. Okay, or whatever color you used for your bunny. Alright, I'm just placing the loose bands on every set except for the very top. Okay, so one on each. And now I'm just going to dig down and I'm going to loop up. You don't want those loose bands to fall off. Make sure they stay on the pegs. We are going to use them to attach the stomach to the body using my stomach attachment technique. Okay, I'm going to go through the center set. Wrap them around the middle and loop up the middle. Almost all the way though, not completely all the way. Okay, up to here. And then, obviously the final set over here. I'm gonna wrap that around this peg. And like we did before, I'm going to take my loose bands on the edge here. Okay, one on each peg of the body color. Like that, except the top. Alright. And we're just going to dig down and loop up. And then don't forget this final set here. Now I'm going to take two of my body color, so two white for me, and I'm going to tie off the end with two white bands. Pull tight, stick my hook through here, and carefully pull off the stomach. Okay, we don't need our loom anymore, so we can put that aside. Alright, so once I've pulled the stomach off, I'm pulling all the loose bands outward to the outside. Okay, and I'm also going to pull off the 3 pink tying bands. We no longer need those. Okay, just like that. Alright, so now we are going to attach the stomach. So, what we're going to do, if you have fiberfill, we're going to use it to stuff him up. Okay. If not, you can use cotton, okay, or paper towels, but I honestly think fiberfill is the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn him over so he's facing right side up. You have the set that the ear is attached to, okay, then you have the spot set, and then this set. Okay, I'm going to go through the 4 loops here from the top, and I'm going to pull the first loose band through. Push it down on your hook. This is the same thing we did when attaching the body before. Go through the next 4 from the top, pull through the next loop through those as well as the first loop. Okay, and we're going to continue doing that all the way down. So the next set on the edge, we want to stay on the edge, is this one, so you kind of want to lift the leg up. Pull through. Okay, next set. Make sure you go in order. Don't skip any loose bands. Okay, caramel set. this set here. Whoops. Kind of want to lift the leg for the next one. Looks like this is the last one. So grab one of those loops at the end and pull through. Okay, now I'm going to hold this with my finger whilst I do the other side. So same thing, turn him over, go through the first set of 2 bands here, push down on your hook, go through the next set. Okay, before I actually go through the final set, this is where I'm actually going to stuff him. So, see, the stomach is up too far. 1, 2, I'm gonna move the stomach down. Ha 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 ha. And how I'm going to do that is, instead of going through that first set, I'm going to go through the second set first. Sorry about the errors in this tutorial, guys. I really tried my best. This bunny was so hard. I actually had designed a double Loom bunny, which I posted on Instagram and Facebook. Got people really excited about it, and then decided not to do it because of how difficult it was. Can you imagine how hard that one is? This one's already hard enough. So my apologies for getting your hopes up about that one. Now you can kind of tell why I didn't do that one. It's too difficult. Now this, I forgot to mention the dedication of this tutorial. Oh, I'm so terrible. I'm just a bad person. Okay, this tutorial was actually dedicated to Shana George, or Shana. I'm not really sure how to say your name. Hopefully one of those was right. So Shana, I hope that you absolutely love this little bunny and make him. Alright, thanks for being such a wonderful follower of mine. Definitely post him on Instagram for me to see. Alright. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful Easter if you celebrate Easter. Definitely have a wonderful time. I actually used to own bunnies. I had a bunch of them, and they had babies, and the babies had babies. Lots of baby bunnies. They were really cute, though. Shana, I will mention your name at the end of this video again to make up for forgetting it. But yeah, shout out to you. Thank you for being such a great follower. I hope you continue to follow me. Even though this tutorial was terrible. Alright, so before I reach the end, I'm actually just going to stuff him up. So I'm going to grab my fiber fill. and just stuff him, but you don't want to overstuff him, okay? I'm going to push it up there. Oh, he's so cute. Little bunny. Baby bunnies are so cute. Their ears are like really tiny, and they look like little balls of fluff. They're so cute. That's too much. See how it pops out the side? That means you put too much in. So I'm going to pull some out. Ah. Anyway, continuing to stitch him. So once you've pulled that final band through, you have 2 loose bands at the end. I'm going to, let's see if we slip knot it together. Nah. Okay, so keep the 2 separate. And you need a C-clip for this. So grab a C-clip. I'm going to hold both of the loops with my fingers. It's a little tricky here. You want to kind of go into the body through some random bands in the body. Pull those 2 bands through those random body bands. And C-clip them. And then push them back into the body where you can't see the C-clip. Go through. Oh no. This is terrible. I don't know what I'm doing. Might have to redo this part. Whatever. So you get the point. Just stick the C-clip in where you're not going to see it. And there you have your little bunny. Okay. If you made a lop, obviously you can make the ears fall. Okay. If you made them a little bit longer, make the ears fall and you can wire them up. Okay. You can always wire him up. Okay. If you want to. But I hope you like him. Shana, or Shana, I hope you like your bunny too. Sorry that this tutorial had some errors in it. I hope I didn't upset too many of you. I hope it was worth all the struggle. And I hope you like your little bunny wabbit. Alright, so share with me pictures on Facebook and Instagram. See the links in the description. And yeah, I will see you soon for the next tutorial, everybody. Okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. Bye-bye. See you next week for the next video.